Hello everybody, Carlo here. Today we're going to go over Althea, one of Jerry Garcia's most signature songs with some of his most signature licks, and we're going to go over all the chords, and we're going to go over all the little nuances and all the little licks that connect everything together, and how he can finger pick it sometimes and sometimes he doesn't, and how he plays it different every time, and it'll drive you crazy. But I think there is one set way that he actually is improvising off of every time, and I'm going to try to break it down and show it to you. And it's super fun, and you can use it in a lot of other songs, not just Althea. It's his classic Jerry Garcia claw picking technique that I think you're going to like a lot. Demystified, so to speak. It's actually a little bit simpler than it sounds, but it sounds so cool, and it is so easy, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So bear with me, and we will get into this. I appreciate you checking it out. Thank you very, very much. We're going to start off with the signature intro lick. And he plays it different every time, but I think that he has a certain pattern that he improvises off of, like how he wrote the song. So the way that he plays it, it's really loose, so that you can like pick it, you can finger pick it, you just, as long as you shape the chords with your left hand, you can almost be sloppy with your right hand. Sometimes he does an alternate bass line thing, sometimes he leaves that out. You can only catch this maybe 2 or 3 times the whole song he'll do it, because the rest of the times between the verses he's like doing solos, which are really cool, and I have all that tapped out for you as well. But it all boils down to a certain finger picking pattern that he uses that might be a common finger picking pattern for some, but to me any finger picking is a little mind boggling. But Jerry puts a little obviously puts a little Jerry on it and makes it totally his own, obviously, which is the signature lick to the song, which we all love. So it's really cool. It's kind of catty and mousy and kind of Pink Panther-y in a way, kind of slinky in and out, and just really sly. So it's a really cool lick, which is again why we all love it. So, but the way to play it, it could be a million different ways actually, and there's probably a million different videos out there trying to explain it, just like I'm going to try to do today. I mean, I was even working on it for 2 or 3 hours before the video to try to figure out exactly what is this. So it's very cool. What I'm going to do though is a simple way. Would just teach you the chords, and then I'm going to teach you a way to make it kind of sound slinky like that, with using the pick, say. And then what Jerry actually does on this one is he tucks the pick and does it finger picking, kind of a claw hammer thing, which I think the whole thing is based on, and again was written with. So we're going to show you just the basic chords, and then kind of a good way to kind of play them, the easy, so to speak, way, and then kind of a more detailed explanation of how he claw picks it. So I'm going to attempt this. Let's give it a shot. the signature little walk up. And that is going to be, say, a third finger on the E string. You hit it and slide up to 4, like that, like a grace note, so it doesn't have any time value. So you just hit 3, slide up to 4, then you go open A string, first fret A string with the first finger, and then the move the first finger over to the second fret and play a B minor. So it's like 3, slide to 4, open, first, second, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or that's what he'll use when he starts on 2. So they're like holding on E and he goes 2, 3, 4, 1. And sometimes he'll leave out the slide and he'll just go straight to 4. So either or just. So, but then the other way he'll do it is if he starts on 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 1. He'll come up with his pinky and slide, make that slide. Instead of third finger, he'll use the fourth finger, go 3 to 4, and then 8th notes on the open A and first fret A. So he'll do 2 different fingerings, either the third finger when he's doing it slow, or the pinky when he's doing it as 8th notes. So that is a subtle nuance of that little walk up. He's coming up to a B minor. I told Althea, which is an A, to an E, back to an A. So B minor, A, E, A. And he's playing the A with his first finger flat on the 2nd fret. We got an open A string, 2nd fret D, 2nd G, 2nd B, and then we're just playing a normal E. Now if you want, you can hammer that G string, open G, and hammer to a first fret G. So play like an E minor and hammer to the first fret G. So he's going B minor, A, E to A, which is kind of an awkward change. A lot of times they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they'll change to the A icon 4, but it's the main riff is just B minor, A, E 2, 3, 4, A 2, 3, 4. So the main thing is just written a whole bar of E, a whole bar of A, but you can go to E for 3 beats and jump to the A early by a beat and then play a whole nother bar in A. So bottom line is it's just B minor, A, E with a little twist if you want to an A, and then a B minor, A, and then just an E. Here we'll get into this, which you can just do your little hammer on. Just either lay your third finger flat for an E sus, or just lay your pinky down for an E sus, and then do your E minor hammer on as well. So you got, and then just strum an E. Chord. So every other time it holds the E and does that riff. So the first and third times it'll do the B minor, A, E, A, then it'll go B minor, A, E with a little sus. With a walk. It will come to the next section, which he'll just walk up to an A. I told Althea, then the C sharp minor to a D, to an A, back to a C sharp minor to an E, to your B minor A E. And then the solos will always be just like that intro, the B minor, A, B minor, A, E, and it'll go around and around on that. That whole part is walking up to A. I told Althea to C sharp minor, that treachery, to a D. Tyranny them to A, from there to C sharp minor. Althea told me to E. Cool down, boy, to B minor, A, E. Settle back, easy sound. Later in the song, they're on the E chord, coming out of a solo B minor, A, E, and then they go to D. There are things to G you can't explain, to E, which he'll walk down that 3, 2, 1 open on that low E, or just any number of ways you can get from G to E. So he's going D, there are things you G, walk down to E, do a E sus, E, and that's just where you raise that first fret G string to a second, whether, again, like we were doing in the main lick, whether you want to hammer with like the first to third finger, or first to fourth finger, or just lay your third finger down. So it's E, E, E sus, E. Does the same thing again, D, G, E. This sus is getting E. And then back to B minor, A. You know this sus is, this A is getting E. Could literally play the whole song without doing any of the little intricate finger picking stuff and just essentially strum it by doing up to A, C sharp minor, D, to A, back to that C sharp minor, to E, B minor, A, E. So that's one way you could strum it, and then you'd go to the bridge. going to get a little bit more intricate. It's just because you hear that signature lick in there. And that is simply, you do your walk up to and hit your B note, 2nd fret A, and then you come up here and you hit the, you just shape a B minor chord, and it's simply picking the A string, the D string, then you jump and hit the B string, the G, and the G. So you're going A, D, B, G, D. And then you hit your A chord and then hit an A sus and then the A again. So it's and then hit your E, open E, but hit it like an E minor and hammer up to the 1st fret G. So those are the main notes, is the 2nd fret B, 3rd fret B, back to 2nd B, and then open G, hammering to 1st G. So it's like, and then you hit a E chord and then an A chord. So the thing is, while you are hitting this, you can also just lay your 1st finger in an A chord. So we got, and then I like to just hit like a G and a B string, and at the same time then hammer to that 1st fret on the G. So we got, and then a big E chord and an A. So we've got, so there you've got your signature little melody. And then again, you can hit that E, the E sus, open, hammer to a full chord. So that's a way to pick out that melody, the signature melody. I'm just going to use my thumb and my 2nd and 3rd finger. Jerry would actually use his thumb and his 3rd and 4th finger. Maybe his pinky if he wanted, but usually he's just using sets of 3. So even though I'm using my thumb and my 2nd and 3rd finger, he would use his thumb and his 3rd and 4th finger here. Again, talking about my right hand. Obviously using your thumb on that. Then you can then use your thumb to hit that D string and your middle finger on right hand to pick the B and the second finger to pick the G. And then the thumb again on the D. And that sounds a lot more natural than just using the pick. And that allows you to let those notes ring out while the ones then sound below it. But here's the cool part then. When you go to the A, you can pick just an A with your thumb on the A string and then pulling with the second and third fingers on the right hand on the G and the B string. So you make an A just with those three notes. So you just got an A shape. Like I said before, you can be sloppy with this and miss it and hit whatever notes. But for this purpose, we would go straight to a pick while you're pulling, pick the open A with the thumb while you're pulling on the G and the B. And to make it simpler, you can actually just skip the open A. Here's the pattern then, because again, the notes are so what we're going to do is, with our second and third fingers right hand, we're going to pick the G and the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times in succession. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to mix in just a thumb bass line. But the bottom line is and the way you'll do that is just, again, hold that A shape and go 2, 2 on the G, B, and then put your second finger down on the third B, so you got second G and third B. It's just like an A sus, and then back to the A. And whether you choose to add a low A note with your thumb or not, you don't have to. Maybe on the first one. Bottom line though, is after that second A, just hit open G and open B. And while that's ringing out, hammer to first fret G. Just like that. Again, we've gone with the second and third finger. It's just done the G and the B 4 times so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a hammer. And And then you does that same hammer again with the E note on the bottom, like a normal E chord. And then it goes open E again, pulls again on the B, the G and the B as it sits. And then it's going to go to an A chord. Just like that. With mixing a thumb. Just 2 E notes mixed into that pattern. One here as part of a full E, and then it hits it again and pulls before it goes to an A, which you can do as a pull as well. Open A. Just like that. And so you really got, I call it a call answer. Hammer, low note, pull to a new chord. That's kind of the catty thing about it. It's kind of catty because here he foreshadows and jumps to the E early, and then it switches. So you're expecting that big E to fill in underneath that anticipatory hammer. And then you hold that and then do a real catty open pull to a full A. Then every other time it'll go which is our little sus lick, but it's a little bit more detailed and respected. Again, we're coming off a so we're doing just like we were before, except before it went, now we're going. So again, you're rolling off of the A sus, doing the hammer again, hitting an open E, and then hitting second fret, and then another open to a hammer. and then drop down and do the G and the D string with your second and third fingers. So you're going, and so you drop down and do the G and the D with the open E. That is a big E chord again. Or you could go up to the again, you can be sloppy with it and it still sounds fine. So you could go up and claw the B and the open B and the E instead of so you can just practice around and around either way. Okay, and finally, after all that, we finally get to what the whole thing is actually based on, which is the finger picking pattern I was telling you about earlier. And the easiest way to explain this is to go to that bridge and if you just take a typical A chord you can see there the alternate picking, and you can play through all of those chords just with that picking pattern, including so I'll show you that pattern. We'll start here on the A chord, the A bar chord at the 5th fret, which is your first finger flat on the 5th fret E and B, and your second finger on the G 6th, and your third finger on the D 7th. Typical A bar chord, right? We're just going to do it with the top part of it first, and we're going to go so what we'll do here is use our thumb on the D string. We're going to do an alternating 7th fret D and A, but we're going to mix a G string in there. Which is the 3rd, so we're going 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. And so to start off, we're going to go D string, G, and then we're going to, with our middle finger right hand, pick the thin E. And this is how the pattern will go. It'll be down, down, pull. And then, with your 3rd finger, lift it up and go down to the A string, 7th fret. So we've got, and then we're going to, with our second finger on the right hand, pull on the B string. And then come up with our thumb on the G string. That's the whole pattern. Now, the very first note, you can actually pick all 3. Or maybe just one of them. Doesn't matter. And if you'll notice, when we did well, if you do this pattern on that, it's the exact same notes except you're adding just one note, the 2nd fret E string. And we're using our alternating bass line. So there's only one note difference, and it's a note that you don't even notice a lot of times. This one. Because you're hearing. It's actually part of that little picking pattern. So using that same you can see there, the first note I'm just down picking with the thumb while I'm pulling up with the 2nd finger on the B string. Now we're going to go to the C sharp minor. So again, it's down, down, pull, low note, pull. So it's down, down, pull 3rd, low note, pull 2nd. Back to D string thumb. So we do it on the A as an alternating 3rd finger here. Then we go to the C sharp minor and we alternate on the A and the E string, and then we do a D chord. Again, you could do this with open chords too. But I'm just using the chords that he uses. And he actually goes, he uses his thumb, and then he does the A shape, and I think he does, and he just holds it. I told Althea, and then he joins the picking pattern after a bar. But bottom line is, so now he's jumping up to a D chord where he's just laying his pinky flat on the D, G, B 7th and his first finger on the A and the E 5th, which is like a power chord G, but he's just using it the same pattern. And then he goes back to the A and just does like 3. and then does a little walk down from the 7, 6, 5, 4 with the third, second, first fingers to back to a C sharp minor to an E, and then he walks up to practice that. You can just play that pattern over the entire bridge, the entire A bridge, and it might sound something like this. So then when we get to the E after that, does one of those on the open E where it's going open E, 2nd fret D on a pick, pull 3 times. Then it walks up to the B minor. And again. That's what he's basing everything off of, is that pattern. Now in this song, this version of Alpine Valley, he's actually going so he's taking that, essentially, like I showed before, he's doing the chord like this, but essentially what he's doing, he's just doing an alternating thing with the D string, pulling on the B and the E, hitting the A string. So we got 7th, D, pull 5, B and E, then 7th A, do the same thing. Then switch to your C sharp minor. So it see, the nice thing about claw is that you can develop a little rhythmic flow of your playing. It's like call and response. Pick, pull, pick, pull, pick, pull, pick, pull. He'll simplify everything for the verses and just do quarter notes as an alternating. So where he's just jumping from the A string, the A string to the G string. So he's doing this chord shapes, and he's actually, in this Alpine Valley, he's just using his thumb to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I like to just use the thumb and and the second and finger, or the second and third if you want.